Hey guys, this is Ledgerdamayn, and I'm about to start the draft portion for the TIC team draft. So this is actually an interesting pick, where like all 6 cards are actually good, but then there's a stinging invocation. So normally I'd force the crap out of Necreum in most draft formats, but Necreum is complete ass right now. Stinging invocation is by far the best card, but I guess it's worth going over the other options. Nexus Gunner is fine. I like Aloyan, but Umbrik I feel is by far the strongest color combination in this format. Same thing with Four Draw Sentry. I actually love that card. It doesn't feel actually beatable if you have like a palm pack attached to it, but again, I'd rather just be an Umbrik, and Stinging Invocation wins usually in rank 1 by itself. Tremor Sword is interesting, but not nearly as good, and yeah, the other 2 cards are Necreum, so not really worth talking about. Cool, so we have a Gem Hide Ravager here. None of the other cards are good enough to warrant taking over Ravager, even if you don't actually get the Allied bonus, but of course, since I'm going to be trying to force Umbrik, the Allied bonus is absolutely insane in this card. Otherwise, it's kind of just a large vanilla creature, but with the Allied bonus, it's actually nuts. This is very straightforward. I wanted to force Umbrik, and this is one of the best Umbrik commons. One of the best Tempest commons, rather. Okay, so this is interesting. Torque My Guardian is actually like crazy good. I usually end up with at least 1 or 2 useless plans in my deck, something like an underleveled Dark Root Shambler or a Grapplevine or something. And Guardian provides a large body along with a way to make your deck more consistent. And since it's so early on in the draft, I think it has more upside than Stegadon at the moment. Okay, well, I'm going to take a card. Okay, so this is interesting. The pick here, in my opinion, is between the Tracker and the Stormweaver. I believe this card was already really high in my estimation in the beginning of the format, but it has actually risen over time. Stormweaver is actually insane. It provides a early game and mid game stabilizing force because of its ability, and then provides an end game threat that is larger than most. It's actually good at every phase in the game, which is very unique in this format. Usually cards in this format have a power spike at rank 2, whereas Weaver is just strong at every point that you play him, and crushingly strong at rank 3, which is very good in this format. At the same time, Frostwild Tracker is Frostwild Tracker, so I'm probably going to take that because the upside of that card is significantly higher, and it is a heroic, so it is a more unique effect. I actually don't even know if this is right, but yeah, we'll go for it. Okay, so yeah, not much of a pick here. Bright Tusk Sower, I think, is probably just the strongest card in this pack. Even without a Spring Dryad in the format, there are also not very many cards that produce other cards in this. So Sower is actually much more unique than it has been in previous draft formats. Shatterbolt's actually one of my favorite removal spells, mostly because I can also target the face. The other creatures are like whatever, but Sower, I think, is going to have the largest upside here. Okay, so we have a bunch of mediocre stuff. I think Steam Sentinel is good. You don't even need an Instigator, it's just large. It's a nice large creature. Of course, like, Instigators are nice. Wildwood Sower is very good, actually. Since there are so many good common pump spells, like Blood Boon, Ursine Strength, you can actually like stabilize the board while making a large creature, even if it's just a 1/1, but eventually like a few showings it actually makes significant threats on the board, while its body is actually like decent at higher ranks. I wouldn't say decent, it is a serviceable body. That being said, you kind of just need large power creatures to be able to deal with the decks that are just like full of 7/7s. There are a lot of 7 power creatures in this format, and Steam Sentinel kind of just stops those in their tracks. Cool. Well, I'm going to take the plant here. I mean, Torquemine Bender is one of the better ones. Also, we have a Guardian, so... Okay, not much mention here. Cadra's Colossus is actually, like, very solid at rank 2. Of course, it doesn't actually grow past rank 2, so it's kind of like a shittier version of a Swamp Moss Ancient, but Swamp Moss Ancient's actually insane, so a shitty Swamp Moss Ancient's a good card. Okay, this is interesting. I think the pick here is probably between the Deepwood Boar Rider, Venabang, and Gemhide Basher. Gemhide Basher has a very, very unique quality of being able to kill Snowdrift Alpha at every rank, which is, I believe, one of the only cards in the format to even have that claim. And believe me, since the power of this format went down, Snowdrift Alpha just became more insane, so that is an extremely good quality. Deepwood Bear Rider, however, is an extremely good underdrop, and while it doesn't actually get better into rank 3, 60 power at rank 2 makes it so, but the first time you play it, as long as you can get value, you'll never actually have to touch it again until you actually need to play it, which is really nice. And Venabang is just an extremely efficient creature. A lot of times combat in this format will just reduce to like chump blocks and trying to make like efficient trades, and Venabang is the king of efficient trades, and it's a serviceable body at all ranks. I'm leaning towards Venabang, but Gemhide Basher is, I would say, a more unique effect. So I think I'm just going to take that. Okay, so Ether Tap Shaman is one of my favorite commons in Tempest. 7 power creatures that are premium. There are a lot of them, but you can't really have too much, especially if you're doing Unbreak, which is aggressive, and its ability to just move if you play a spell is just icing. I like Venabang, but you really need like a critical mass of large creatures to make Unbreak work. Okay, so I think the pick here, actually this is actually pretty close. I like bigger Wisp, especially with small cute combos like Torquemine Bender, Darkroot Shambler, or I guess in a pinch Verdant Sphere. I think Blood Boil is probably the most unique effect. Removal is an extreme premium in this format. There are not very many removal spells, and as such, a lot of decks will try to create a singular large creature to kill you, either through like spamming Darkforged, especially like Shambler, and stuff like Shadow Mist Angel, or the Shade Claw Zombie that are very difficult to kill once they get going. Same thing with Brasking Yeti because it has mobility. So I think I'm leaning towards Blood Boil, even though Flame Wolf Instigator is quite good, and it does combo with the Steam Sentinel that we have. I believe Blood Boil has a higher upside, especially since it can deal 10 damage at rank 1. Its rank 2 is actually almost identical, but its rank 3 is 20 damage, which is like crazy. It kills everything. Blood Boil rank 3 is like very good. So I think I'll be leaning towards that. Same thing with Flame Jet. I love this card. This card is absolutely insane. Its rank 3 is like 18 damage, I think. Yeah. So as long as you don't play it, as long as you play it in rank 2, 3, or 4, it's a very efficient spell, and sometimes 3 damage is enough to get like some value in rank 1. And its rank 2, its base damage is 9, so it doesn't actually 9, and then if you wait another rank, it becomes 12. So it's a good underdrop. It's a kind of a unique kind of underdrop where you kind of want to play the rank 1 as soon as possible, as long as you can get some like meaningful value out of it, and then it's just good from then on. Okay, so I'm going to take a card. Okay, this is cool. The pick here is between Nargeth Bruiser and Thranic Ambusher. Well, Thranic Ambusher is Thranic Ambusher. Nargeth Bruiser, I believe, is one of the best. Actually, they're both close to one of the best common. I don't have that many 7 power creatures, and I already had a Bruiser and a Mender, so I believe this is a more unique effect. Oh, Call the Lightning. Well, that kind of blows, because this is actually a casual draft. So I can keep the cards, and Call the Lightning is like a quadrillion silver. I hope I have a playset. Actually, let's check. Yeah, that'll make a difference. I don't really feel like completing my playset of Call the Lightning, but if I can get some free silver. Oh, nice. So it is free silver. Interesting. Okay, well, the pick here would definitely be Soothsayer Hermit, which is like pretty good. I wouldn't say it's like insane, but if you do manage to get it to rank 3, every time you draw it, it is a guaranteed 2 level 3 spells, so it does add quite a bit of consistency. And it's nice in this format because it tends to slow down a little bit, and being able to just have 2 guaranteed level 3 spells is really nice. Let's see, what does this actually do? You know, yellow, whatever. Okay. So Everflame Aura is probably one of the better removal spells, I think. It doesn't actually scale as far as damage is concerned, but I believe it does scale in mobility, and it is extremely good at rank 1. You never actually have to play it until you need to. Let's see what we got here. Kind of need more pump effects. The wind strength is fine. I definitely prefer Ursine strength or Blood Boon. Blood Boon being probably, I think, the best Doterra common. Like, bar none. Card is insane. It's pretty much Legion Shard. Everflame Aura is fine. Like I said, removal is at a premium, and it does provide mobility, which is nice, I guess. Hold on, let me think about this. So, what do we have going on here as far as pumping is concerned? The nice thing about pump effects, and the reason why I actually like Bright Tusk Sword the most, is that while it provides a decent body at every rank, it also provides a secondary body. And because Doterra has such efficient single target pump spells, that little body, they actually have to deal with it. So as long as you're playing 2 creatures a turn, Bright Tusk Sword provides a potential threat that they actually have to recognize, otherwise you might just be able to like swing in with like a level 3 Ursine strength and just like wreck them. I guess it's part of the balance of this format where they remove most of the cards that create other cards, and then they give Doterra so many good pump spells. Okay, so I need to make this pick at some point today. I think Everflame Aura is probably better than Twin Strength in a vacuum, but I really like having a certain amount of pump spells. Australian Umbrella is fine, but I mean, there's merit to it, but I prefer just having a pump spell. Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with Deep Branch Prowler, but I don't have enough pump spells to actually make it worthwhile. And that's where it really shines. If you can just drop it under level and just like slap a level 3 Ursine Strength on it, and all of a sudden it's just like this unkillable giant breakthrough creature that you don't have to invest anything for. And it's also like decent as an 7/7 at rank 1, obviously, even though it's like 7/7, 8/8, 9/9. Grapple Vine is a plant, and like I said, you usually end up with a lot of shitty plants, which is why I usually like taking the early Torque Mind Guardians. And Grapple Vine is actually fine. It doesn't actually scale as far as like stats are concerned, but its effect is really powerful for that like one asshole who has like the 30 Borean Moonweaver deck. Okay, Conjurasting Stoneback is nuts. I love this card. Cool. So that sucks because we have a Blood Boon here, but there is an Aranti Warlord, which is Aranti Warlord, so I guess we're taking Aranti Warlord. There are no actual good Yetis that are not heroic. I believe there's the 2/7. I think it's I don't remember the name. It's the Pinger, and that one is fine. I think all the other Yetis are ass, but Aranti Warlord by itself is actually just nuts. Cool. So the pick here is between Ursine Strength and Blizzard Shaman. Blizzard Shaman is large at every rank, or sorry, large at rank 1 and 2, and it's okay at rank 3, but its effect is what makes it very unique. It makes combat very difficult for your opponents. Ursine Strength is slightly worse than Blood Boon, but has the advantage of being a significantly better underdrop. Not significantly better, I guess it's still only +5 at rank 1, but it doesn't have the stipulation of having to have a creature die first, and it does actually get better as the game goes on. It gets, yeah, so 5, 9, and then 13 at rank 4, and games will end up ending in rank 4 more often than not in this format since the cards are a lot slower than they used to be. I'm thinking Blizzard Shaman's actually just better, like much better in a vacuum. Well, I guess not much better, but Ursine Strength is something that we need, I believe. It does combo with the fact that we have a couple of creatures with mobility. We have the Stoneback, the Ether Tap Shaman, which goes really nicely with it. We have the Bright Tusk Sower. Grapple Vine is actually really nice with pump spells since its butt is so large. The Mender works well with pump spells. And actually, yeah, we don't have too many things that we just want to be moving around to fight with Blizzard Shaman, so I guess Ursine Strength is probably the pick here. Oh yeah, also the Gem Hydra Ravager, as far as pump spells are concerned. Cool, so Tauren Soldier is actually the nuts. I love this card. It's the significantly better version of Venom Fang. It's large at every rank. Well, not large at rank 1, but it's large at rank 2. And then having free mini removal spells is like invaluable. Okay, so we could take another shitty plant to banish, but I'm going to take the 6/4 since it actually scales really well as far as power is concerned. This is interesting. So you have the same dynamic of cards that are pretty good underleveled. Underdrops, as long as you play them first. So Featherfang becomes a 12/8, whereas Deepwood Boar Rider becomes a 16/8. Looking at my deck, I don't actually have that many creatures. Like, you need to be able to control the board early game, which means having enough, a critical mass of creatures with power enough to be able to stop random creatures that they might be able to play. For that reason, I'm going to take Featherfang. Oh, cool. So we have an interesting pick here. Well, Fuse Acer is actually pretty good. I don't think this deck is aggressive enough to really make it shine, or has enough efficient removal spells or creatures with mobility to make it work. Razortooth Stalker is really good, but Froststrider Strike is Froststrider Strike. It's removal, it's burn, it's everything you want it to be. It is by far the best card in this deck. Okay, so this is interesting. There is a Blood Boil, which kind of falls off as far as having multiples are concerned, because it doesn't actually do anything unless you have something die, which is nice. Because, I mean, not nice, which is okay, because things die all the time, obviously, but it's not good as, it sucks in multiples just because if you really need removal spells that you can do before combat, whereas Blood Boil really usually only happens afterwards. If you're being aggressive, you really want like the better your removal spells to happen pre-combat. Also, we're really getting really high on spells here. I guess 7's not like insane, but you really don't want to like get too many, or else just get stuck with a bunch of spells that you don't want in your deck. So the other cards in this pack are all approximately equal in value. So yeah, we have the opportunity to banish Cadaverous Thicket or Grapple Vine if you using Torg My Guardian. Rhyhorn Charger is like very solid at rank 1 and rank 2, but then becomes kind of a blank in rank 3, I believe. Yeah, so 10/13, it's a baby at rank 3. Its mobility doesn't scale. I think it's much better than the amount of times I would draft it would give it credit for, but I still hate drafting it because I tend to skew games towards late game. While Umbric can be extremely aggressive, as long as you have cards like Singing Invocation in your deck, you can kind of just stall the game out. If you can get early poison, you really just need to keep playing creatures and forcing them to deal with them and letting the poison tick, especially if you ever hit with rank 2 Singing Invocation, then you really just need to live. And Rhyhorn Charger does not help with that. I do actually have more pump spells now than I previously. No, not really. I have exactly Ursine Strength, more than last time. Cadaverous Thicket's fine. It deals poison usually will end up dealing, as long as it's on rank, which kind of blows if you're playing it that aggressively, but as long as you're playing it on rank, it will always trade with the creature, whatever creature you put in front of it. Works really well with pump spells. It's really large. Of course, like looking at its stats, it obviously is meant to be partnered with Werewolf Patriarch, which we do not have. You don't really want multiple grapple vines, especially since I have mobility in this deck, not like a ton, like 1, 2-ish, 3. Looking at my power, I think I'm actually just going to be taking the Deep Branch Prowler, so I have another 7. Oh, okay, Blood Boon, excellent. So yeah, screw everything I just said about having a little bit too many spells. This one's the best one, so there we go. Well, okay, so now we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess Stinging Vacation is not really a spell. Shadowbolt is crazy good. Like, it's really bad at rank 1. It's only 5 damage, but then it turns into a really good face burn spell. And when games drag on a little bit, having a direct damage spell is really valuable. Actually, it scales pretty well in damage as well. Not like crazy good, but of course having the ability to point it at face is really nice. And I think it has enough upside over Rhymeborn Charger where I really want to take it. Again, like I said before, I definitely probably should be taking Rhymeborn Charger more times than I ever end up doing, but I will openly admit right now that I'm hugely biased against that card, so Shadowbolt it is. Okay, cool, so now we have a creature and another spell, and we have enough spells, like, by far, so I'm going to take the creature. Okay, cool, so here is the deck, and I'll be back later. I believe I'm playing against Malambre for the first round, so see you then.